Video is to, well, it's for Matt in London and for the Rancilio engineer to show what the problem is with the Rocky grinder and what we did to fix it. So the problem was, we fixed this one now, but the problem was that it would lock only on 7 or 8 setting. And then any other setting you'd put it on, the button would stay down and it would just spin, and when you'd spin it back to 7 or 8 it would lock again. This is what the problem we had on this grinder as well, as Matt in London. So as you can see, we fixed this one. So to show you what we did to repair it, first of all you need to remove all your beans from the hopper, take off all your covers. This one on the bottom just flicks off, and these two covers as well, and just set them aside. We've set up a tea towel here so that when we lie it down we're not going to scratch the machine. So the first step is to undo this screw here on the bottom. The tools we're using here today are a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and a number 8 ring spanner. We've got Joseph filming here for us today. So I've taken off that bottom screw and we'll lie it the other way because this is in the way here, we don't want to damage that. And then we want to open these 3 screws that are in these holes here. 2, 2, 3. So here's one of them. Beans do get stuck down in these holes, so if you've some way of getting them out, it's helpful. Or you can crush them with your screwdriver. This is why I have it down on the side, so that they come out. There it is. Number 2, there's a bean in this one as well. They just like to get themselves wedged in there. That's the cracking of a bean, not the top of the grinder. Okay, and there's the third one going loose now for us. So you'll find then that the top will come off. And this is where your 3 screws and your hopper. Just sit it up here again. So this is the pin here, and you press the button, which locks into all of these little grooves around the top of the hopper. And what I believe has happened is that when the unit was assembled, we'll just take off the top here, actually, the cover with a Phillips screwdriver. Just show us which screws we're opening down there, Joseph. This cover does really need to be taken off to do it properly. And there's another Phillips screw this side. And then this cover moves back for us. You can just pull it back slightly there at the bottom to the flex. Push the flex through just to give yourself a little bit of room. Just leave that sitting there. So these bolts here, this bolt here, it says 8.8 on the top of it. That's an 8mm, and on the other side we have one as well, and that basically is the mounting for the motor. So we loosened the mounting like so. And then we put our hopper back on top. And you can see where the hopper goes. This sits on these, gets screwed into those three there on the top. So you can see if it's not, if the conclusion is of the fix is that the motor has movement when loose here. So if you tighten up these two bolts when the motor in the wrong position, these grooves are not going to be centered on your pin coming up. So what we did to fix it basically was to readjust these bolts. I've loosened them now, so to adjust it, you can just press that down to put your hopper on. It makes it easier. So to adjust it, we're going to put the hopper back on again and screw down. You see there? Sure, we've got those three screws lined up. Just take the coffee at least. Make it a bit easier. Maybe we'll be able to replicate it not working properly again. So, just a coincidence that two of the machines we had had the same problem. Matt in London and ourselves here. Now you see it's still working, which is disappointing. Now, so if I hold that down and readjust the motor here, lock it in the wrong position, I might be able to show it not working properly. But basically what we found is after we loosened these two nuts, this one, and reassembled this back on top, it appeared to all fall back into place as it should be. So I'm presuming these two have been locked in the wrong position. So I'm just going to lock them up again there. I can't replicate it not working as one, it seems. I'm sure I could if I spent long enough, but for the purpose of the video, this is so still working there. As you can see, it's locking on in every single position. So now we've tightened up these two screws here. We've locked our motor in place with our 8mm spring spanner. What you need to do to reassemble the grinder is to take your hopper off again, just so you have access to screwing on this cover on the back. I think Rancilio should have picked up this problem when they tested it in their factory, as they do come with grinds in saying that they've been tested. So we'll have to individually check every grinder ourselves now before they go out, to make sure that none of them have this issue. So as you can see, you just need to put your two Phillips screws down, and these again, and your other Phillips screw in the bottom, and put your hopper back on the top, and you're all done. Just make sure that you get your, just tightening that down a little bit, not too tight, just to the end and then back a bit, to get your reading correct. Press down that button. Just take this out to see the screw, where the screws go. Yeah, that's the correct holes there, and you can screw that back in. Okay, thanks for watching.